Analogies are rhetorical devices used to illustrate a concept, idea, or relationship by drawing parallels between it and something more familiar or easily understood. They help clarify complex ideas by comparing them to simpler or more relatable situations. Analogies often involve identifying similarities between two seemingly disparate things, allowing the audience to better grasp the subject matter through familiar reference points. Life is like a journey. The road may be winding, with ups and downs, but the destination makes the journey worthwhile. This analogy suggests that life is comparable to a journey, where one encounters various challenges and experiences along the way, but ultimately the goals and achievements attained make the journey fulfilling. The brain is like a computer. It processes information, stores memories, and runs various programs. This analogy draws a comparison between the human brain and a computer, highlighting similarities in their functions such as processing information, storing data, and executing tasks. Love is like a flame. It can be ignited with passion, but it requires nurturing to keep it burning. This analogy likens love to a flame, suggesting that while it can be sparked with strong emotions, it needs ongoing care and attention to sustain it over time. Learning a new language is like unlocking a door. Each word and grammar rule opens up new opportunities for communication. Here, the process of learning a new language is compared to unlocking a door, where each new word or grammar rule learned represents a key that opens up new possibilities for communication and understanding. Time is like a river. It flows continuously, shaping the landscape of our lives as it passes. This analogy compares time to a river, emphasizing its continuous flow and its transformative impact on our lives as it moves forward. Courage is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Similar to how muscles strengthen with exercise, courage is likened to a muscle that grows stronger as it is practiced and tested through facing challenges. Friendship is like a garden. It requires regular attention and care to flourish. Just as a garden needs nurturing to thrive, friendships require consistent effort and care to maintain their strength and vitality. Writing is like painting with words. Each sentence is a brushstroke, contributing to the overall picture. This analogy compares writing to painting, highlighting the process of creating a piece of writing as akin to painting a picture, with each sentence acting as a brushstroke that adds depth and detail to the overall composition. A problem shared is a problem halved. Just as splitting a burden makes it lighter, sharing troubles with others can ease the emotional load. This analogy suggests that sharing problems with others can alleviate their weight, similar to how splitting a physical burden between two people makes it easier to carry. Success is like climbing a mountain. It requires perseverance, determination, and reaching new heights. Success is likened to climbing a mountain, emphasizing the perseverance, determination, and achievement required to overcome obstacles and reach new goals. 10 examples of comedic analogies. He's as useful as a screen door on a submarine. This analogy humorously implies that someone is utterly ineffective or out of place in a particular situation, as a screen door on a submarine would be impractical and nonsensical. Her singing voice is like a cat being strangled by a kazoo. This comedic analogy paints a humorous picture of someone's singing ability as being unpleasant and discordant, akin to the sounds of a distressed cat combined with the buzzing of a kazoo. His jokes are as funny as a screen door on a battleship. In this analogy, the lack of humor in someone's jokes is humorously exaggerated by comparing it to the absurdity of a screen door on a battleship, which serves no practical purpose in such a context. Trying to understand quantum mechanics without a background in physics is like trying to knit a sweater with spaghetti. This analogy humorously illustrates the difficulty of comprehending a complex subject without the necessary background knowledge by comparing it to the absurdity of attempting a task with entirely inappropriate tools. His dancing is like a fish out of water, flailing around with no rhythm. This analogy comically describes someone's lack of coordination and rhythm while dancing by likening it to the awkward movements of a fish out of water. She's as subtle as a sledgehammer in a china shop. This analogy humorously suggests that someone lacks subtlety and finesse by comparing their actions to the blunt force of a sledgehammer in a delicate environment like a china shop. His fashion sense is like a tornado in a thrift store. This comedic analogy exaggerates the lack of style or coherence in someone's fashion choices by likening them to the chaotic and haphazard aftermath of a tornado in a thrift store. His driving skills are like a blindfolded toddler playing bumper cars. This analogy humorously suggests that someone's driving abilities are reckless and chaotic, akin to the unpredictable and uncontrolled movements of a blindfolded toddler in a bumper car ride. Her cooking is like a science experiment gone wrong. This comedic analogy humorously implies that someone's culinary skills are lacking or disastrous, comparing their cooking to the unpredictable and potentially disastrous outcomes of a failed science experiment. His sense of direction is like a broken GPS, constantly leading him in circles. This analogy humorously exaggerates someone's lack of navigational skills by likening it to the malfunctioning of a GPS system, which continually directs them in circles and fails to provide accurate guidance. Analogies are rhetorical devices used to illustrate a concept, idea, or relationship by drawing parallels between it and something more familiar or easily understood. They help clarify complex ideas by comparing them to simpler or more relatable situations. Analogies often involve identifying similarities between two seemingly disparate things.